And then cards. I think a word about cards, because this is also different, right? Because in the last few decades, cards infrastructure was built in an isolated fashion. So kind of a evolution of mankind. So each country developed its own ecosystem for cards, its own infrastructure. Brazil, but then Colombia, Chile, Mexico, South Africa. So it's not the standardized way it is in developed markets like in the US or Europe, especially. So it's not only the business environment, the acquirers and the issuers with the banking concentration, their eventual adherence or not to card scheme rules, which is important, but also the features. I think there are features in emerging markets which are much more powerful than developed markets, like installments, for example, is one that's very prevalent in LATAM. It's fluid for the merchants, for the consumer, even for the issuers. And it's a feature, not that it does not exist in developed markets, but it does not exist in international cards. So if you don't use local acquiring, of course, you don't have the ability to work with installments. But then also all the other features which eventually enable recurring subscriptions and also high acceptance rates in one-time purchases, like now tokenization, 3DS, and all the little features that we need to optimize a card's processing operations, like flag for recurring, flag for this, flag for that. And these, they don't travel in international rails. So this is why you mostly need local acquiring, be directly connected to an acquirer. And that differs a lot. So this is part of our work to manage this complexity. Just to give you some example of that. So in Brazil, well, we're connected to a few acquirers there, but we have to adapt and code and implement specific features for all the acquirers because they work differently and some issuers work differently in the different rails of the acquirers. Same thing in Mexico, same thing in, Chile, where CLAP works differently than Transbank. And we need to make sure that we unify that so that when we provide a recurring payments experience and platform for the merchants, they see it in a unified way. And on top of that, we deliver the best performance. So quite of a complexity only in cards acquiring.